So we're going to Jason, and Jason's got an interesting story here with the VA, if I can click this right.
Sure, so I appreciate it. So last year I was able to come up and do a presentation about what we were going to do for the VA for Vets, and it's nice to be able to come back and say what we actually have done and some of the things that we've been able to use the Appian platform for. So VA for Vets is a program where as a contractor, we and our team operate 2 call centers for the Department of Veterans Affairs that do career counseling for veterans. So any eligible veteran or military service member can call one of our call centers. We also have a web portal, and they're able to get career counseling, they're able to get job interview prep, they're able to work on resumes with our counselors. And as part of that, on the back end of that, is actually run by Appian. So the case management system that runs VA for Vets is Appian. One of the things that we do as part of this program is we do, from time to time, we'll do a roadshow where we'll go and actually take our career center and our call centers and do it out in the field. So last year we went to Detroit and we had a career fair. We had 10,000 people show up over a couple days, and we basically take the entire operation and do a roadshow. Well, that's great when you want to move the entire operation, but on a daily basis, on a regular basis, the VA recruiters are going out and they're meeting veterans out in the field. And so what's happening is we'll go and we'll meet veterans out in the field, and we'll say, hey, go to the VA for Vets website. It's www.vaforvets.va.gov/whatever, and hope that you remember to do that. So one of the things that came up out of that was, well, how do we reduce that loss of, we told you about it and then you never came to us, so we have no way of collecting that information other than a spreadsheet or a piece of paper. So on the next slide, I'll show you. One of the things that we did was we built what's called the mobile business card app. And so instead of when we're at a career fair, when the recruiters for the VA are out at a military base and they're meeting veterans who've just come back from service, or they're doing a career fair, one of the things they're able to do is actually take that information from those users right at the point in which they meet them. So they say, okay, well, instead of saying, go to the website, we say, let me get your information and we'll have somebody contact you. And so we take that information, we put it right in a mobile device, it goes right into our system, and then it gets queued up in a way such that we can follow up with those people. At least we know that we met them. And that allows us, as part of this program, to do more outreach versus just being responsive. And so the real value for this is bringing the application closer to the constituent. And so instead of you having to make the effort to come to us, we're trying to make the effort to be closer to where you are, and then instead of losing you, we kind of get that information right into our systems where we can do that back-end processing and do the outreach.
Thanks, Jason. This is just one of those good government stories that, you have a vet coming back. It's as disorienting as possible anyway. This is a great way to actually go out to them and help them. How about some of the concerns somebody would have with HIPAA requirements, that kind of thing, personally identifiable data?
Sure, so it's a great question. So from a privacy perspective, we have the records of about 200,000 veterans. So we take information from the VA, we take information from all the service members we meet. We don't capture things like social security number, and we don't capture specific medical data, but we do capture things that would be name, email address, employment. We capture disability ratings for veterans, things that we certainly wouldn't want to fall in somebody else's hands. One of the ways that we kind of deal with that is so that the mobile devices that are taken with people on the roadshow are actually issued by the VA. So that privacy is managed and the security is managed by the VA on those devices. Our solution, the Appian solution, actually sits in a VA private cloud. So that entire interaction is within the VA's enclave. It doesn't have to leave that, so that we don't have that security issue. And obviously the devices, if they're lost, they're encrypted and those types of things.
Yeah, I was talking to Roger Baker, the former CIO of the VA, for about the last 4 years until he recently retired. He said that the latest data breach that they had, and agencies do have data breaches, it was somebody printed out some papers of personally identifiable data and didn't dispose of them properly. So it doesn't always have to be electronic. It can be paper, can be just as big of a problem.